Everybody, this is Steve from This Day in Metal. I'm joined by Ashes of Aries, Freddie Vidales. How are you, Freddie?
Good. How you doing, Steve?
Great. Thanks for joining the program. Two-part discussion we're going to have today. First, we're going to discuss breaking news from yesterday, May 14th, regarding a new album. And then we're going to get into Ashes of Aries touring plans for the fall that include celebrating a classic 1990s record. And so we'll start off with the news from yesterday, New Messiahs. The new record was announced. I guess tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So this is our fourth album, and it was actually finished about a year ago. But our record label was kind of merging with another record label, so they had a lot of legal things to work out, like the barcodes that go on the CDs, the actual names of the companies that are going to appear on stuff. So that's why it got delayed. But yeah, it's just another step in the evolution of us, I guess. We kind of like to get heavier and darker on each album, and I think we're still doing that.
I was going to mention that the new single "Wake of Vultures" also released yesterday, and my comment was going to be, I think it's the band's heaviest single to date.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, depends on what you consider heavy, So it was definitely. I mean, you'll be able to tell some of these songs are like that. Kind of sounds like this band, and that's totally on purpose. Like, kind of my goal, and this one was to kind of pay tribute to our forefathers, like the
Of
big
course.
forefathers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hear a lot of Slayer on this song, and that was definitely intentional.
That's what it sound. I could pick that up. I found it interesting. Like I said, maybe it sounded a little darker. I mean, all the albums are pretty heavy, though. I guess. Do you think out of between Well of Souls, self-titled, and Emperors, do you think it resembles any of those, or has its own unique sound?
It's hard for me to tell because my ears and thoughts kind of go in the same vein, but it's. I mean, I think everything's definitely different from the debut because we kind of did play it safe because it was our first one together. We didn't know if we should come out too aggressive, too this or that. But there, I don't think there's a theme with our music, but the albums I kind of think do stand alone. Like they don't sound exactly like each other. And so if I'm writing something and I noticed a riff sounds too similar to one I've already written, then it goes away.
Is it a concept album or lyrical content? How did you come up with that?
No, I mean each song's also standalone, but sometimes there are common themes that you could say, hey, maybe this song and this song are speaking about the same overall subject matter, but from different sides. It's not intentional. It just kind of works out that way. And most of it's just based on real life and what we see
Of course.
and absorb every day.
What was your recording process with you and Matt?
So since the beginning, since I live in Arizona, he's in Delaware. It's strictly through the internet. But we've got it down to a science now, between us at least, where he or I will write guitar parts or vocal parts and then send the other, our ideas. And then it's up to the other person to say, yeah, that's cool. Let's work on that. Or honestly, no, I don't like that. We're very honest with each other. I think that's why it works. So basically every song you hear, none of the songs you hear is just one of our ideas. It starts off with one of us having an idea, then the other one changes it, goes back and forth, and then what you hear is a true collaboration. We don't put a song out unless both of us 100% agree that, yeah, that song sounds good and that's what we want.
One thing I noticed that I think is exciting is you guys are doing a record release type event or a record preview event, listening event in July. I believe it's in Delaware. I guess tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and we're actually going to announce that tomorrow, but I don't know when
I
this
just
will go
saw on your
out. And
website. Sorry if I broke the news.
no, it's okay. It's not a. I mean, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so there's the Birmingham Meadery. So they make mead
Yeah.
in Delaware, and he's right near where Matt lives. They've been great. Years ago they put out a mead based on us on after the Well of Souls album.
Hmm?
So we're just going to host an event where the day after it gets released in Europe, we're going to just hang out there. Whoever wants to come can hang out, and we're going to play the album from start to finish, all the new songs, and kind of take a break and discuss what we were thinking, what was the process for each of these songs, just give everybody the full picture of how the album became became what it is and how it started, so they can see the differences and like what the beginning idea was and how it ended, because it just really changed so much.
So the album comes out the 18th of July in Europe, and then a little bit later in the United. Is August 8th the United States release date?
Yeah, August 8th. And from what I understand, I talked to our record label. They're based in Greece. Well, they're based in Greece and Germany. But I guess either the distributors or their manufacturers out here in the U.S., that's the date that they could get product out.
I see. Okay, I just ordered mine earlier. So CD, I get the CD. I'm still a collector. It's coming out in CD and vinyl. Is it going to
Yep.
be a digital release or just CD and vinyl?
Absolutely, digital, CD, vinyl, and I buy CDs too all the time.
Of course.
So we tend to write. Our songs aren't particularly long, but they're not punk rock songs. So they're 4 or 5 minutes, and we wrote a lot of them, so they would not all fit on vinyl. So you're going to see, if you get the CD, you're going to get every song we recorded, including a cover song. Vinyl, you're not going to get the bonus track. That's just kind of how it's a logistics thing,
Of course.
We got to either write shorter songs or less songs, or just keep doing it the way we're doing it.
How many songs is the album?
It's 10 originals. Then there's there's 12 tracks, but it's 10 originals. The first track's really an intro track just to set the mood, and then there's a cover song at the end.
Can you disclose what's the cover song, if you don't mind me asking? Where can
I? It's by Elton John. It's called yeah, it's called "And the House Fell Down." So
yep.
Yeah, and see, I'm a huge Elton John fan. I had never heard that song until Matt and I were kicking around the idea. I was like, why don't we do "I'm Still Standing" or something poppy? And then Mrs. Barlow actually suggested this song, and when I heard it, I'm like, wow, it's got this creepy vibe to it. That's gonna be perfect. So we kind of did our thing. We metaled it up, and then we had a friend of ours who you may know as the singer for Queensryche, Mr. Todd LaTorre.
Of course.
He laid down the drums on the song because he's an awesome drummer.
Yeah, so he had a drumming background before Queensryche.
Yeah. So it was totally fun because all of us got to take this song none of us had played before and kind of put it together. So it was a really fun process.
That's great. How did he get involved? Just how did you guys get him involved?
Well, him and Matt have been friends for a while, and then I got to know him through that, and we just talked a bunch of times. And he had mentioned at one point, "Hey guys, man, I'd love to do something with you guys, drumming wise." And these are his words. He said he's not the fastest double bass drummer, so we kept that in the back of our minds. And then when it came time to do a cover, we just contacted him, and he, didn't hesitate. Yeah, he was down for it.
That is a very interesting song choice. I'm looking forward to hearing it in your, the rendition that you guys put out. I assume a heavier touch to it, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. And our thing is, and it's just our view on things, is we don't want to take a song that's metal and just redo a metal cover of it.
Of course.
So if you look at any of the covers we've done, they've been non-metal songs, and that's kind of like we found a lot of joy in doing that because it's not expected by anybody,
Of course, yeah, it's unique and interesting as opposed to just basically a recitation of what the prior song, by the original artist sounded like.
Yeah, and on this one, it's all piano based, so I had to kind of transpose the guitar from the piano and the solos on a piano. So it was a lot of fun. It was challenging, but it was fun.
And that'll be on all versions of the CD release?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, great, cool. I'm gonna switch over to topic number 2. The tour that was announced a little while ago, maybe a few weeks ago. You and Matt are going on tour in Europe in September and October to celebrate, I think it's the 29th, 30th anniversary of Iced Earth's The Dark Saga album. I see you have the Iced Earth 2008 poster behind you. I believe it's where it's, there it is.
No.
Yep.
That one?
Yeah, well, yep, there it is.
Oh, yeah. That's 2007. You're close.
2007. So did you meet Matt in Iced Earth? Is that when you met him when you joined the band?
Yeah. So when Matt rejoined the band, that's when I joined the band in 2008. So we got along pretty much perfectly from the beginning, and it just carried over into this friendship, this partnership, and yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, he's one of my closest friends. His family is like my family. It's beautiful.
And you guys, you toured with Iced Earth that entire time, right? We saw you a few times in New York City. I'm based in New York City at the Best Buy Theater.
Oh yeah,
in
and then
Times
was it the
Square.
PlayStation Theater, and then
Correct.
whatever it
Yep.
was. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
yeah, great venue. And then and you also you wrote you were involved with the Dystopia record.
yeah. I played recorded bass on that.
Yep.
So you know, it's it was a fun process, but that was the only Ice Earth recording I'm on. And the kind of funny thing to me is the Crucible of Man was the first album I toured off of. My picture is in that album, even though I didn't play on it. Dystopia I played on, but there's no pictures in it, so it's
Oh wow, I did not
it's a
realize
weird
that.
thing. Yeah.
Huh. What led you to choose the Dark Saga record for this tour?
Well, we were kind of approached to do it. We toured Greece, Bulgaria, and Cyprus 2 years ago in the summer 2023. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
2 years ago. And in the set, we just threw in a few Iced Earth songs. We threw in a couple they'd never played before. And it just had this amazing reaction, which we knew it would, obviously. Um, and so we were approached, hey, what about this, guys? I mean, if you guys want to come back and do your new album, we could really, get people rabid by doing this. So it wasn't our idea, but the more we talked about it with each other, Matt and I were like, yeah, why not? Because out of the 10 songs on the Dark Saga, I think I've already played 8 of them on bass live with Iced Earth at some point, and it's always fun. So after we talked about it for a while, we just said, yeah, let's do it.
I was gonna say the back in the 2008 to 12 era, obviously a question of heaven, the Hunter, Vengeance is Mine, a number of them were staples in the sets.
Yeah.
Great songs, like you said, amazing reaction.
Yeah. I think the only 2 I didn't play before were Depths of Hell and The Suffering Scarred. I played everything else off that. So
Are
so
you
it's gonna
going
be
to? So the set list is going to be the Dark Saga record in its entirety, and then you're going to add Ashley songs as well.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean I think the way we're looking at it now, we're gonna kind of put the Dark Saga right in the middle.
Oh, great!
Just it's still an Ashes of Aries show. We're just happen to be doing this stuff because obviously we have a personal connection to it, and the cool thing is I think all the fans are already going to know all the words and sing along, so it's going to be fun, and it's kind of a celebration of especially for Matt because he recorded on it. I didn't. I honestly have nothing to do with this album other than I played some songs live, but I still take pride in being able to present that to people.
Of course. Any plans to bring any of those shows to the U.S., even local to where you and Matt are?
No plans right now because it's pretty much everyone's well aware. Matt has a pretty strict schedule. He has, we both have careers. My job's a little more flexible than his, but we do our touring based on what he can do, and he can probably only do 2 weeks at a time here and
I
there.
see.
Yeah, so that's kind of why our European tour is going to be. He's going to be gone 2 weeks, and
Okay, that's the length of the tour, so it's fairly short. Okay.
yeah, it is, but it's that or nothing.
Oh, no, of
So
course, that's gonna be incredible, an incredible celebration. I asked because about 9 years ago, when Ash had just started, one of your first shows, if I recall, or maybe about a year in, was in New York City at Webster Hall.
yeah,
And that's the one time I was able to see you guys in the U.S. was at the show in Webster Hall. So we've been looking for. I think you guys played maybe the year after. You may have toured on maybe some East Coast shows, if I recall. But yeah,
yep,
that was an incredible performance. He's played self-titled straight through.
yeah. I mean, those are all the songs we had.
Yeah,
We had 10 songs, so we played them all.
that was a great show.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's so the European shows, are they festivals or are they like club theater shows?
Uh, right now, well, we're playing one festival as far as I know. We got our guy out there booking stuff. So
Yep.
as of now, I don't know where we're playing yet.
Okay.
So he works on all that, and then we basically gave him the dates were available, and he's just going to start filling those dates, and then he'll tell us afterwards. Oh, by the way, here's where you're playing. So, and we'll announce them as soon as we're able to. Just like the album release and tour release, you're kind of given a guideline of, hey, you can give this amount of information at this point, and then you can get so on and so on.
Of course. Who's joining you guys in the touring band?
Right now, so it's Matt and I, and then on guitar it's going to be a guy named Charlie Honig, which is pretty much except for that first show you were at. He's been with us since 2014, playing as our other live guitar player. He's out of Boston. And as far as the drummer and the bassist, we will just have to see. Right now we're going to be looking at European players because of it is really expensive. So, the more people you have flying over from the States, the more the budget gets dented.
Of course. Oh yeah, between hotels and travel costs, of course.
Yeah, and visas and paperwork and legal mumbo jumbo. It's more than just a plane ticket.
No, of course, and it's exciting to see the albums that come out every few years. At first, the first album I was optimistic that it would continue, and now you guys are releasing albums every 3-4 years. It's been great.
Yeah, and it might be a little ambitious on my part, but I was trying to tell Matt. But when this album comes out in July, I would like to have all the songs written for the next album by then. Not completed, just right now I've got about 6 where I think, okay, here's the song. Matt hasn't necessarily put vocals down or anything to it, but at least if we have the song structures, the riffs, all that, because I want to have that goal, because I think after this album comes out, I'll be able to relax a little bit if that work's already done.
That's incredible. So the potential for a new release in 26 or 27 potentially.
Potentially. I mean, we haven't even discussed it with the label, but that's kind of our internal goal, is just, at least my internal goal. If Matt wants to take longer with it, that's fine. I want to be done.
No, understood. On the tour, do you think you'd incorporate some of the songs from the first 3 records, or just focus on the Dark Saga and the new record, New Messiahs?
Well, as far as Ice Thirst stuff, no. It's just, because we're talking
just Dark Saga.
The album length is 42 minutes or something like that of just the songs themselves. Yep. For Matt to go, hey, everybody, yo, whatever he does on stage, yep. his madness. So that's going to stretch it out to like 45 minutes of just Dark Saga songs. Yeah, it doesn't leave too much time for more stuff, but we're going to do our best.
Now, you mentioned obviously Matt's in the police in Delaware. What have you been up to?
I'm a civil engineer by trade.
Oh, wow, great.
I've been doing that for 30 years. So, with my work's a lot more flexible, where I have a lot of time off and stuff that I can take. So I'm just a freaking nerd all around.
I like that, though. Do you have many colleagues who are into the metal scene?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's tons of, we work with home builders and stuff, and, the developers we work for, they're, once they found out, I don't go around telling people, but they find this stuff out, and then they're like, were you really in Europe last year? It's kind of funny, but yeah,
they see you on YouTube.
Yeah, and like we'll go to Maiden shows together and stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
Do you have any summer concerts coming up that you're going to see? Any bands you're looking forward to?
Yeah, nothing right now. We kind of got some family situation going on where it's kind of unpredictable for my wife and I to travel, because we have other family members that aren't doing so well. So other than that, I would be going to every show I could.
What part of California are you based in?
I'm in Arizona.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Arizona.
Yeah. I'm in Scottsdale, so we're right next to Phoenix.
By Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix area basically, but most people heard of Scottsdale, so
Scottsdale has become a destination as far as people are concerned. From the East Coast. Scottsdale is a extremely popular destination year round, but particularly in the winter and the spring.
Oh yeah, we got the snowbirds coming down here because they don't want to be here when it's 120. I know what's wrong with them.
I was there once, and it was 110 in June, and it was maybe the hottest I've ever felt.
Yeah, you get used to
it. I love it there.
At least the pool's nice and warm. Where are you from? Where are you based out of?
New York, in New York City, Long Island area. So
okay, so you're right there, yeah.
Yeah, about half an hour from Manhattan, which is why every time you guys were in Manhattan, I was there. I went to. I was there in the 08 tour and the 10 tour, and I think there must have been a Dystopia tour in this city. I would have been at that one too.
Yeah, we did that with Symphony X.
Oh yes, early 2012, like March or February.
Same venue.
Yes, at the theater. That's right. Symphony X opened.
That was we were flip flopping headliners each night, so that just happened to be their opening night.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. It may have been. Matt's one of my favorite singers ever, but that may have been my favorite show. I just thought Symphony X and you guys paired so well together.
It was, on and off stage, man, we had a blast with those guys.
Yeah, they're local to our area.
Yeah,
in
that's right. They live in
Jersey.
Jersey and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Um, so I guess, well, I appreciate your time. I'm excited about the new record. It was something we were looking forward to. My friends and I have been into. Yeah, we've seen you guys a number of times. We're so excited to have you guys back. Obviously, I had to ask if you guys have planned any shows here. Now, at that, my final question is the July 19th event. That's just a listening party, or is there a chance potentially to play a song or two?
No, just a listening
Just a
party. I
listening
mean,
party.
as far as I know, it's only going to be Matt and myself there. We invited Charlie, the guitar player, down. We invited Kyle, who's my friend who lives here, and he did all the drums on the album.
Yep.
So we invited everybody, but mostly it's just going to be us hanging out, making noise over the speakers, and just talking and hanging out with people and drinking some mead.
That's a Saturday night, so that's a nice chance to do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful
Well,
facility too. The people are great there, so we're looking forward to it.
what part of Delaware is that again?
Milton.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Probably where, Wayne and Garth were standing in front of that picture.
I'm generally familiar with Delaware, but I'm gonna have to look into it because I'm not too far away from that. So I may try to get to that. Try to get to that event because
Yeah,
I'm about
cool.
3.5 hours away from New York to Delaware. So I'm gonna try to get there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely. It'd be cool
Yeah,
to see in person.
it's of course it'd be great. Yeah, I'm really excited about the album. Obviously, it's incredible music. Just one of those just two great guys to see live. We're really excited about. I'm really excited to order this album in 2 months from now or so, roughly.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, yeah.
But yeah,
Well, thanks,
thank you
man.
so
Yeah,
much
it's
for your. I'm sorry.
I said thanks. Yeah, it's we're looking forward to it because we've been sitting on this for so long. It's like, okay, we want everybody to hear it already. It's been too
When
long.
did you actually finish recording it?
Wow. I think last April, maybe.
Oh wow! And then due to the record label transition, it took a little time to get released.
Yeah, there were 3 different dates it was supposed to come out over the past year, but it's that's how things go. There's legal stuff they got to do, and we just got to let them do it. It's
Who
fine.
does your artwork? The artwork's is really unique for all these albums.
Yeah. So the last 3, well, Van Williams, who.
Oh, from Nevermore.
He did the first album cover with the double AA logo and all that, and
Yep.
he designed that logo, which we still use. But Camille, I'm gonna say his name wrong. Pietrzynek. He's Polish.
Mm-hmm.
He's man, he's just this amazing artist out of Poland, and he's done our last 3 albums. And it's kind of like when we give him, hey, this is what the song's about. Here's the demo to listen to. Come up with something. And when he draws and sends us his draft, it's kind of like, that's exactly what I pictured it would look like. And it's just crazy how I'm like, he sends us this artwork. It's like, it's got this dark tinge to it, but it's pretty much what we imagine in our heads. So we really love working with the guy.
Makes so much sense, particularly maybe from the Well of Souls. Now that you're putting it in that perspective and explaining some background on his vision, it makes so much sense. In particular, Emperors for sure too, but Well of Souls in particular. Now I see exactly like where that cover is coming from. The title of the album kind of spoke for itself, but now I see even in more.
Oh yeah, Emperors and Fools. All we told them was, can we do like a chessboard where there's like all kings on one side and all pawns on the other, and they have no chance of winning. And he put this thing together. I'm like, that's exactly what I was picturing. So,
yeah, that's that. Now I'm gonna be looking at the new album, thinking the same thing. Wow, that's really interesting background on the cover art because I've always loved it and just wonder what the inspiration of it is. But that makes sense.
Yeah, and on Well of Souls and Emperors and Fools, if you'll notice, there's in the booklet of the CD, there is a different graphic for every single song, catered just to that song. Camille was really busy this time around, so he didn't have the time to do that. So he just basically did the cover and everything else. But I'm sure there'll be some other designs coming out of it later when he has more time.
You mentioned you still collect CDs. It's something that I guess younger generation of people, younger generation in particular, but people who kind of abandon that in favor of digital music, they miss out on the packaging. the packaging is it can be very unique, whether it's lyric books, the artwork in the book, background, information, towards the end of the book about why the album was written or credits, things like that. There's a lot you miss out by just purely buying digital.
Oh yeah, and that's the same. And also, I think it benefits the artists more too. But not only that, yeah, I like to hold it in my hand, I like to pop it in a CD. I have a CD player in two of my cars.
So do I, of course.
Because the new ones they make, the new cars, they don't even put a CD player in them anymore.
I had to ask them to install it to pay extra because I need a CD player.
Yeah, and it's just you get to, there's never going to be a hard drive crashing, or I'm never have to charge my CD up and wait for it to play. It's like yeah, they're more to lug around, but
like I said, I like to have the physical copy, like this, and because of packaging, like you're talking about. Like I like to read the lyrics to get a feel for the subject matter of the album, and if you get a chance to see a band live, obviously to learn the lyrics for the shows, things like that, and and grasp the concepts of what you're listening to, and obviously the awesome artwork. There's some legendary artwork, and if not for CDs and records, I don't think people would appreciate some of those legendary album covers that have come out over the years because you wouldn't really see them. You'd see them on your smartphone or something, or on a computer in the background.
Yeah, and not only that, at least for me, when I got a CD and read the lyrics and all that, I remember the names of the songs.
Yep.
Well, if I get an album and it's digital or something, I just hear it in loops over again. I don't know what the songs are called anymore, except for maybe a single or something.
Yeah, it's I'm glad that you guys have put an emphasis on that. Because it was noticeable throughout the catalog, and I'm excited that the fourth album is going to continue that. Are you releasing any other singles coming out other than the single from yesterday?
Yeah, there's I think we're going to release at least 3 more songs.
Oh wow, that's great.
Periodically, we shot 2 videos. So there's going to be 1 more video coming out, and I think they're going to do another lyric video or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you're going to hear at least 3 more songs for sure before the album's released.
Is Wake of Vultures going to be the one of the singles with a video?
Oh yeah, that actually came out yesterday also.
Oh, yesterday with the song. Okay, great.
Yeah, it was a different. I think the label posted. They didn't post it all together. They did the album release one, and then they released the video later.
Okay.
Really, it's just Matt and I in front of green screens with stuff in the background, but it's still cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like music videos are another another lost art. That used to be enormous, and now people aren't even putting in the effort. Like even you said, because any visualization is good. It gives you more color and perspective on the song, and also you get you see the artist. Like in many of the videos, you actually can see who you're listening to.
Yeah, and I'm old school, obviously, so I like to have like a whole band in a video, which we were able to do for the first 2 albums, but then during Emperors and Fools was the whole COVID thing, so couldn't fly anywhere, so we had to do stuff on green screen or different locations. We didn't do them on green screens at the time, but and so we've just gotten used to that because they're like, the budget is really nice when people don't have to fly all over the place. So
Exactly. Well, I'll be watching that video later. I look forward to the next singles coming out. And for all of our listeners, this will be hopefully a follow-up. We can talk about the next album in the relatively near future, as you've already undertaken the writing process.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. So I appreciate you having me on. And
no, thanks so much for your time. Out there. Great, thank you. And I will talk to you soon. And it was great speaking with you, Freddie.
Right, take care, Steve.
Great, thank you, you too.